My mother was the queen for a long time. Even though you kind of expect something like this to happen, you don't really think about it much because the monarchy is all about stability. However, I believe my brother has been waiting for this moment. Royal siblings often have disagreements, and the argument between King Charles and Princess Anne is no exception. This conflict is about an inheritance that Princess Anne currently has, but it was meant for someone else. We will talk about the current king and the dispute over Gatcombe Park. What did Princess Anne say to King Charles that created a buzz? Princess Anne, the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, is known as one of the most dedicated members of the royal family. After Queen Elizabeth II passed away in 2022, there was much discussion about what Princess Anne could inherit, both in wealth and other aspects. Even though the family did not share the will, we know that the princess inherited not just money and personal items from her mother, but also many new responsibilities. As one of Queen Elizabeth II's hardest working and trustworthy children, Princess Anne has taken on a lot. The Queen's wealth mainly came from her private properties, especially Sandringham House and Balmoral Castle, and Princess Anne has been very loyal and dedicated to her family. Children could have inherited some of these estates, especially since Anne has been managing the family's properties, like Sandringham, for a long time. However, she didn't inherit them, which may have led her to seek the king's help. Besides material wealth, Princess Anne also took on an important role in public and charitable work. Everyone knows how much the Queen supported charities, and people expected Anne to do the same. Princess Anne is very active in public service, being involved with over 300 organizations. It's believed she may have taken over some of the Queen's roles. Although she is the second oldest child, she won't become queen. That title will go to her older brother, King Charles III. He has likely been looking forward to this role and has thought about it a lot. She may have gained some of the Queen's diplomatic skills and charm because of her natural grace and experience. However, with King Charles III receiving most of the late Queen's wealth, he wasn't going to miss any important royal events. This situation puts Princess Anne in a tough spot, especially concerning her home at Gatcombe Park, a 730-acre estate in Gloucestershire that Queen Elizabeth II bought in 1976 for between PS 500,000 and PS 750,000. It's a large property that includes a lot of space. Manor House stables, a polo pitch and homes for Anne's children at Gatcombe Park are worth about PS 15 million. People believe that Anne will pass this estate on to her children. However, inheriting this property could bring difficulties. In the UK, inheritance tax is 40% on estates worth more than PS 3,250,000. For Zara Tindall and Peter Phillips, this could mean an inheritance tax bill of around PS 2 million. The family faces a hefty tax bill of 2,800,000 that must be paid within 6 months after receiving an inheritance. This situation is causing concern about how they will manage this financial challenge, and there's a possibility that they could lose their estate due to the inheritance tax. Additionally, questions arise about Princess Anne and her ownership of Gatcombe Park. Here's more about Princess Anne, the Princess Royal of the United Kingdom. Princess Anne is the second child and only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh. She is the sister of King Charles III and the aunt of Princes William and Harry. Growing up in the royal family, Anne was known for being independent, smart, and determined. Unlike some other royals, she has never sought fame from being the Queen's daughter. Despite being part of one of the world's most famous families, she leads a quiet life. Princess Anne comes from a family with military backgrounds, so it's not surprising that her husbands have been in similar roles. Her first husband, Captain Mark Phillips, was a cavalry officer, and they got married in 1973. They had 2 children, Peter Phillips, born in 1981, and Zara Tindall, born in 1981. Neither of them has royal titles and are better known for their own careers. Princess Anne divorced Mark Phillips in 1992 and later married Timothy Lawrence. The Princess Royal, who used to work with her father Prince Philip, has been with her partner for a long time. Together they have supported the royal family. What stands out about her is her strong sense of duty. Over the years, Anne has proven to be one of the hardest workers in the royal family. She goes to many royal events each year and is dedicated to charity work, especially in sports, health, and children's issues. Anne is a member of the International Olympic Committee and supports equestrian sports. She has a straightforward personality and doesn't make many public appearances just for publicity like some other royals. She doesn't participate in media events often. She feels honored to have been asked to be the head of the Royal Newfoundland Regiment, even though she's unsure about the passage of time. I didn't know the details about Amal, but I was aware that the regiment has a remarkable history. Princess Anne is known for being straightforward and not caring much about fame or media attention. However, many people don't talk about how she comes from a family with a rich background of royal and aristocratic ties, particularly through her father's side, which connects her to the House of Schleswig-Holstein. Habsburg-Glurg and her mother's family have strong links to the House of Windsor and several other European royal families. However, these connections may not help her much if she can't claim her inheritance from her mother, the late Queen. It's unclear why the Queen left Princess Anne with such a small inheritance. In her will, the Queen addressed all her children and grandchildren and gave them some items. And she divided her wealth among her family, giving more to those who deserved it and less to others. She also gave sentimental items like jewelry to her grandchildren, so they could remember her and continue the family tradition. For example, she left a special tiara and other jewelry to Princess Charlotte, the daughter of Kate Middleton and Prince William. Additionally, she gave jewelry to Princess Anne's children, Peter Phillips and Zara Tyndall. The Queen gave valuable items and properties to her older and more active family members. Everyone received something, whether big or small. For example, Princess Anne will inherit Sandringham House, one of the Queen's private estates. However, she won't own it completely. The Queen meant for Sandringham to be passed down to selected family members to encourage harmony and love among her descendants. But the rules around British succession are very strict. Even the hardest working royal might not end up with much, and may even lose her home of many years if it wasn't left to her. The Queen divided her personal and cherished items among her children and grandchildren. But what will happen to most of her wealth? This includes private estates, art, and other investments. According to royal family rules, most of this will go to the heir, who is currently King Charles III. It's clear that he will inherit it all. King Charles has hosted his first state visit, where he is responsible for ensuring that the guests and the royal family are well taken care of. In the British system, the throne and its wealth are passed down to the next monarch. However, not all of the Queen's wealth automatically goes to the new monarch. A significant part does not. Her assets come from the Crown Estate, which is a large group of lands and properties owned by the reigning monarch. But these properties do not belong to them personally. The Crown Estate is not passed down directly to the monarch. It is managed by a group called the Crown Estate Commissioners. Recently, King Charles III seemed to lose his patience and reprimanded a guard during the visit of the American president. Although King Charles oversees the Crown Estate, it is not his personal property. Instead, it provides income for the sovereign Idok, the current monarch, through something called the Sovereign Grant. This is a part of the profits from the Crown Estate. Gatcombe Park is owned by Princess Anne, but she doesn't have sole rights to any of the late Queen's estate. She shares ownership of Sandringham with her family. Princess Anne is known for her hard work and dedication to her family. As she is, one would expect her to have much more than a truckload of responsibilities after the Queen's death. But as it stands, the Queen's only daughter and favorite child might lose Gatcombe Park, the home she has lived in for decades with her husband and children. Gatcombe Park is a private estate located in Gloucestershire, England. It is best known as the home of Princess Anne, the Princess Royal, as she and her family have lived there for many years. Princess Anne's home at Gatcombe Park has a fascinating. Gatcombe Park is a manor house from the 17th century. Princess Anne bought it in 1976 to raise her family. She lives there with her second husband, Sir Timothy Lawrence, a former naval officer. The estate has large, peaceful grounds with fields and woodlands, making it a private space for the royal family. Unlike other royal homes like Buckingham Palace, Gatcombe Park is not open to the public, so it maintains a quiet and low-key presence. Sandringham is also known for holding events like horse riding competitions, as Princess Anne loves riding and includes it in her life at Gatcombe. There are rumors that King Charles III spoke about his father, highlighting why this weekend is significant. My father began his visit to Westminster Abbey today by promising to serve others. He has always dedicated himself to helping those in need. And Gatcombe Park feels like his home. The issue is that the princess bought the property in 1976 and has lived there ever since. She is defending her claim to the estate, which surprised many people in the UK. She strongly believes that the property belongs to her and will pass it down to her children when the time comes. This raises the question of how properties and estates are inherited in the royal family and what the rules are for passing down their wealth. The Crown Estate is an important asset connected to the British monarchy, but many people misunderstand it. While the current monarch manages it, the Crown Estate is not their personal property. Instead, it is held in trust for the country and is not passed down to royal family members. The Crown Estate consists of large areas of land in cities and rural areas. The Crown Estate earns a lot of money from its forests and seabeds. This money goes to the treasury, and in return a part of it, called the sovereign grant, is given to the royal family to help with their official work. It's not for personal use, but is a way of funding public duties. When a king or queen dies, the system continues. An official royal event took place today, marking the beginning of many new processes. There were several important lessons learnt from the day. While he lives outside the royal spotlight and doesn't have as many official duties or benefits as his sister, he is still the son of Princess Anne and will inherit any personal property passed down. Zara Tindall, Princess Anne's daughter, is also very close to her mother. When combined with the Neil rate band, grandparents can give up to PS 500,000 tax-free per person. Another effective way to reduce inheritance tax is by gifting assets while Princess Anne is still alive. According to the UK's inheritance tax laws, gifts given during a person's lifetime are not taxed, as long as the person who gave the gift lives for 7 years afterward. If Princess Anne gifts Gatcombe Park, or parts of it, to Peter Phillips or Zara while she is alive, it would reduce the tax burden. These are tax strategies to help the family handle the costs of maintaining Gatcombe Park. This estate is very special to Princess Anne and her children, so it's probably not going to be sold. Would Princess Anne have to leave her home? Or could Zara Tindall and Peter Phillips sell some of their other properties to keep what they inherit? Share your thoughts in the comments. Would you like to see more videos like this? Click to let us know. You'll enjoy the next video on your screen.